Oh, am I the only one that went off script with the name? Mother
Mama,
of
mother.
Dragons.
Should have said something. Should have said
I'm
something.
saying it now. You know how these mothers roll. So, welcome to the show about mothers. And I would be remiss if I did not state a couple of things. So, first off, happy pre Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there here on earth or out there in spirit. We honor, we celebrate you all. That is a one unifying force that we all have. We came from a mother. I feel like I'm about to do a Tupac song, but I will mess it up just as I do with everything else. This is really in celebration of mothers. We have mothers that are bosses, and actually, most mothers that I know are CEOs, CFOs, COOs, CIOs, vice presidents, directors, individual contributors, board chairs, board members. We are doing it. And so we want to honor you and what you do every single day. So I'm joined by two mothers. We have the Queen Mother. Hello.
Hello, darling.
I'm about to be a different mother. Hold on. Hold on. You're going too fast. You're going too fast.
Yeah.
Listen, you know, my grandfather used to say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So.
Yeah. What is that,
So
Mama?
that is Nne Ejima, which is mommy of twins.
Oh, I should change my name.
Wait, let's see if we can. Nne Ejima.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, so welcome and mother of twins. You know, one of the things I think about with mothers, and particularly the journey that we've each been on to have this title of mother in terms of having children that we are responsible for. That's still my child. My son just turned 27 today.
Happy birthday! We love you.
Yes, and he's actually here. He's having a meeting with his boss, so we might not be able to have the opportunity to see him. But you know, there's also this thing where we have that some of us, I think a lot of women, are mothers, agnostic if they are responsible for the traditional definition of a mother.
Amen.
And I know this is going to be a polarizing statement. I do not put mothers of fur babies in that equation. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Listen, okay.
About your child driving, falling in with the wrong crowd. I love me some animals, but I just don't. We're going to have maybe another show for y'all or not. Anyway.
Yes, we need to have another, like a whole topic on this because I love animals too, but I don't think that they're your children. I'm sorry. And I know, hey, this is a couch where we have uncomfortable conversations. And I know that's going to make some people uncomfortable, and I'm okay with that. So we should definitely reserve some time to have that conversation. So the mothers we are celebrating today are not the mothers of the fur babies, okay?
Yes.
And y'all love your fur babies if you want to. If you can't pay rent, you can't be here with me. Carry on.
Oh my goodness. So and today we might have some surprises from some mothers that will be joining us. But when we think about Mother Knows Best, Kennedy, what's this topic about?
So this is about, I think for my entire life, I always thought my mother knew everything. I never went through that period of time that most teenagers have where they like, she don't know what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. I thought my mom was like one of the smartest people in the world because she was so insightful. And she was the person who always jumped in with that in the nick of time advice. And it always worked out in the way that she said it would. I think also, I was fortunate to have a praying mama, and you cannot underestimate the power of a mother who prays for their children, over opportunities for their children, like over surgeries their children are going into, like everything in life. And so the best advice that she ever gave me was that you need to make sure that you are your own independent woman, no matter what partner you have in this lifetime, because you want to choose to be in a relationship, not be forced to be in one. And that was information that she passed to me very young in age. I think maybe when I went to college. So I was 16 going to college. So at about 16, that's when she said that. I think the other best piece of advice that she ever gave me was about that same time. You guys know that I had been diagnosed and was going through treatment for cancer. And so she gave me this Bible that was specifically for people praying over their diagnosis and going through treatment. And it's one of my most favorite things that I own still to this day. And she wrote inside of it, all the answers you will ever need in life are found right here in this book. Take it with you everywhere.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna cry today.
Listen, I have to call a timeout. So I need to clarify something. Why isn't your mother here today? Because you're saying past tense. Past tense. She's still on this earth with us. And we actually need to have a whole show called Mama Hill. But why is she not going to be joining us today? And go.
Yeah, because my mama is not gonna figure out how to get on the streams of the internet. Okay. It is a struggle. Like I would have to literally be sitting there with her because otherwise we would get, it's not a beautiful picture of her face. We would get her thumb over the camera or something where it'd be upside down or to the side. Like she's still trying to work this whole technology thing out, y'all.
We love you, Mama Hill.
She needs a whole stand up to herself. So say it again. Yay.
Ne ejima.
Ne ejima. So what's been your mother knows best?
There are so many, because I really did believe my mama and Jesus were best friends, because when she told me, I will always know what you're doing and how you're doing it. So act up if you want to. Yes, I will know. And then mysteriously, she would just say things. And I was like, how did she know? She wasn't there. How did she know? So I thought my mother was everywhere, was best friends with Jesus, and saw everything. So there were a few. I was reflecting on some this morning. Hi, Mommy. So my favorite, one of my favorites, people ask me, well, are you going to let your kids go to sleepovers and stay over at people's houses and what have you? And I said, yeah, probably not. I wanted to so bad when I was growing up. Every now and again, every now and again it happened. We'll just leave it at that. However, when I would ask my mom, can I go? Can I spend the night at such and such? Can I? And she would look at me and she said, you don't know where the devil lives. End of conversation. There was no comma. There was no end of conversation. What do you respond to that? So that was one. And it was, at the time I was like, I can't believe, and would never have said that out loud. Right. But now it's so funny because there's so much out there. You don't know what is happening where and what's out there. So that whole, you don't know where the devil lives. You don't ever know where that evil is going to come lurking. So I think that one is a huge one. And I think another one that she said that sticks with me all the time. She says, if you want to be miserable, hate someone.
Woo. Woo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And am I rounding it up? I have to say hello to Miss Fern. Y'all know who she is. Miss Fern. Miss Fern is the mother to so many Colorado Buffaloes. Go Buffs. Also the mother to one of the friends of the couch, Eric Bieniemy. Mm-hmm. She is the funniest, sweetest. She has been a supporter of ours. I want to honor you, Miss Fern. Thank you for joining us. I would tell some stories, but they're probably not appropriate for this show. But let me just tell you this, that when I remember, and I'll get to my mother's little best in a bit, because this is going to get to, we have Miss Fern, my mother, and others. And I remember when we won the national championship. You cannot have a show when we're not talking about football. And I think we probably Miss Fern got about 7 of us into a game on 3 tickets. She is, you don't go against Miss Fern, the kindest, sweetest, boldest, amazing, beautiful woman. So thank you. And my examples, starting with Miss Fern and also with my mother, are really about deeds. And by what is it we tell our kids, do as I say, not as I do.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of do as I do that my mother and other mothers, in terms of modeling behaviors. And my mother, as long as I can remember, she was always in school and she was always working.
Mhm.
And how that shows up. My daughter is fitting to be going on her last year of her 20s, and she has been in school nonstop. She's graduating from med school and is going to go to law school. And so that played out in me, which also played out in my daughter in terms of working. My daughter has never been without a job, and anyone who's worked nearby around me knows that I'm a 24/7 working operation. The last thing that I'll say, there are two last things that I'll say, is that of the three of us, I've often been referred to as the nice one. I have never, don't you make that face. I have never.
You are the nice one.
It doesn't matter if you refer to yourself as the nice one.
That's not what I said. I've been referred to. I didn't say I said. See?
But it's from you.
I'm sorry.
Carry on.
So
What were you saying?
Thank
What
you.
was that?
Meaning that my mother, I've never heard her say an ill word about any human being. I've never heard her say a curse word. I've never heard her say anything negative about anyone, except, she might have said something like, I don't know if I like him, about one of our presidents of yesteryear. And so, one of the things from that is that
That was so
learn
your
to,
mom.
I know. She just, that's her when she's upset. And so I just learned that over time, I learned that in terms of niceness and treating people with respect always, even though they might not seem to deserve it in the moment. I try to do that. I'm working on that when I'm driving behind the wheel of a car. So let's shift gears here. I probably said two things, but let's move on to our next topic.
Well, before we get to that, I do want to say, and I feel like it needs to be said, that when you're a mom, you're not just a mom to the children you have, but you're a mom to the children that come with them. And I am so honored that I have had the pleasure of being mothered by both of your moms. They have loved me. I said I wasn't gonna cry, y'all.
We're talking about mothers. Somebody's crying on this show.
I know, but they have loved me and welcomed me into their families and into special events and into celebration of life for themselves and the people that they love most. And and given me advice and have listened when I needed an ear. And I'm just so blessed because of them, not just because they are responsible for you being here, both of you, but because they've chosen to share their mothering and their love with me. And so I just want to say thank you.
Ditto. I can say the same about your two mothers. And it goes back to what I was saying, that don't have to be the direct descendant of to be mothered or to be a mother. So thank you for that. Now, can we talk about some working moms? And, do we want to call it work, or mother guilt? Because they are tomato, right? And so actually, I'm going to turn to, you already know. Go ahead.
So I'm newer to the game than the rest of y'all. And, always in the workplace, and people would say these things about working mom, and, was a supporter, I thought, a champion, I thought, but sitting in the seat, it is next level. I have been blessed that I have been working remotely since the girls were born, right? So it is a blessing that, I can run upstairs at a break and make sure that they're eating what I prepared for them, right? So that's a beautiful thing. But I often have to leave. I'm still traveling for work again, right? And so yesterday in particular, I had an offsite with my team. And so I'm getting ready to go. I'm all squared away, set. And I went to say bye. And the little one, they're twins, but she's little. She's, 2 minutes younger. The little one had a complete meltdown and was holding on and then looked up and said, "Mommy," as the tears are going. And I was like, I don't care that my whole team flew up and is in the same room and is sitting and we're waiting and have planned this whole thing. I have to sit with my baby. What kind of woman am I to leave this child crying and right? So I look at that and I'm, there is the guilt there and am I prioritizing work over the babies? And it was so real to me, in that moment. So I think about, I was empathetic to it before, but I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah.
Excuse me.
We
I
got
think we need to call an audible.
royalty is upon us. Royalty is upon us.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
We're great now that you're here with us.
Did you hear us talking about you?
No, I just tuned in. I'm still seeing patients, but I thought I would just click in and say hello and happy Mother's Day to all of you.
Mommy,
Mother's Day
look
to
at how
you.
beautiful you are.
I mean, you see patients that cute.
I guess I didn't look in the mirror, but I think my hair is just all over the place.
You look amazing. Thank you for coming. Is that a flower? I mean, I can't see. I don't have my eyes.
No,
on.
this is my elephant. It's my name tag. Elephant for pediatrics.
Go, mommy, go.
Yes. So Shirley, as I mentioned, is my mother. And so you missed all the wonderful things that I said about you.
Oh.
But I know you are working. So my mother is a pediatric nurse practitioner. So has been on doctor calls for all of our kids, sometimes her own kid. So yeah, I did go get some steroids for this hive thing that I had. So thank you.
Good. Is it feeling better?
I am feeling better, thank you. But it's only 20 milligrams. I think they gave me
Come back.
So I know we only have you for a few minutes, and I just quickly to repeat about how what you have, the model you have been for me in your deeds of working, working in kindness and love, and how it plays through to Jasmine, and how she will be in school probably just as long as you were in school, and how she works nonstop, just like you work nonstop, and how I also work nonstop. And EJ and Kennedy also were praising you and the other mothers who aren't able to be here. But I love you and thank you for joining. And everyone always says, "Oh my God, you don't look like you have two kids that are that grown." Well, look at the genes. I often say I do pickle a little more because I love red wine, but the genes are right
strong there. And good. You might want to get on your knees and say thank you.
If I do that, I might tip the couch over.
Oh, well, thank you for allowing me to at least say hello and see you, beautiful ladies, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
I'll see you Sunday.
All right, sounds good. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Oh my goodness. Oh my mommy.
Okay. I just had to take in the mommy love for a moment.
I know. Anyway, so I don't even know who was talking. I got so distracted. I got to see my mommy.
I know. Well, go ahead and talk about work. And
work. Yeah. And no, I think I was just passing on just in terms. And then there's the other side of, I think what you were getting to, EJ, around not being able to be there for all of these moments, recitals and games and first of this, that, and the other. And how we beat ourselves up how we beat ourselves up, and how sometimes others might beat us up. We're not going to shed a light on that right now, but I think today is around celebrating the many hats that we wear, the many plates on sticks that we spin at any given time, but yet with a smile. We often, there's so much stuff behind us, behind our names, behind our titles, that we have this beautiful earned title of mother that we don't get to experience. I'm glad we're able to celebrate this today.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
yes,
that,
and yes. Ken, were you going to say anything about work?
yeah, I was just going to say that, I've experienced the mom guilt as it pertains to working, right? I've been a working mom since the time I had my child. Matter of fact, I've never not worked. And he's old. And first of all, I did catch that shade that you threw at both Bensky and I earlier when you was like, I'm new to the game. You calling us old on the under, but that's okay. We'll deal with
If
that
you
later.
receive it, that's on you. Now, I threw it. You don't know who I threw it to, but if you chose to receive it,
Listen,
that's on
I caught that shade. But and it's been a while, right? Because my kid is an adult now, of adult age. But I do remember specifically, I was flying out to a meeting and I was at the airport. And, I was feeling myself that day. I was fly. I had my little bag. I was going. And I got a text from my mom, who was watching Shane at that time, and just said that he is really missing you. Can't wait till you get home, because it was a day trip. And I was looking around at that time, and I was noticing in the parking garage all these very nice cars. And I had gotten out of my own very nice car, and I thought, oh, this is a really affluent area. And this garage is like, everybody's balling. And then I thought to myself, after I got the text, at what cost though? And I think that at some point in my career, it had been lost on me, sort of the sacrifices that we make and the sacrifices that our families make, particularly our children, when we are in this work sort of environment, right, as moms. But here's how I pulled myself out of that thought really quickly. I also said to myself, is it more important to me that I am home in this moment, or is it more important that my son has an example of what it takes to be a provider, what it takes to be the mother that I know God created me to be for him, right? And I snapped myself out of that whole guilt thing, right? Because I was like, he needs to see this. He needs to see that I, number one, practice self-care, that I go to work, and that I have a career, and that I'm doing something that I love to do, and I'm making an impact in the world, and that I'm creating moments for us to have together so that he still feels loved, and he still gets what he needs, and he's still nurtured. And hello, the financial flexibility to be able to do the things that he wants to do, right? When we do have those experiences. So he needed to see that example and that role model. And so I would say to every working mom who struggles with feeling like this is a lot of sacrifice, flip the narrative on that and really think of it as an opportunity to demonstrate exactly who you want them to be when they become an adult themselves.
And being able to see, I love that point, and being able to see other women, other mothers, and experience different sides. We're all aunties to each other's kids. I know right now I'm the favorite auntie and the favorite
I was
mother.
just going to say that.
Today I am reigning supreme. For those who know me, I had to give up my ticket. Had to give up my ticket to the Laker game today, and I gave it to my nephew Shane to go with my son Jure to the Laker beating of the Warriors today in Oakland. So I'm trending right now. I'll take it.
You are definitely trending. Okay, he has not stopped talking about how great Auntie Robin is.
But it does take a village, because they're going to get something different from our kids. Get something different from each of us. each of us, we bring a different experience, and I think that is so important. The things that they mama won't let them do, the twins. They get to do with Auntie Robin.
When mama's not
When
around.
mama's not around, or we think she's not listening or watching. So, any event, so I think we're at the time of our do something. And so, boom.
Whew.
Okay, y'all. So people always think about love languages as in the folks that they're in relationships with, romantic relationships. But I think that love language is expansive and should be thought about more inclusively, right? Because we are all in relationship with people in general. It doesn't have to be a romantic one. And so I think it's important that we understand how people want to be loved, how they see love, how they perceive love, and that we give them love in their own love language. And so I want to just encourage people to find out what your mama's love language is.
Be at dinner on Sunday.
I just got to give a 30-second story on this one. It was completely random. I was out with my husband and the girls, or walking around, and this man just started talking to us. The girl, the twins, they attract attention. And he turned to my husband. He said, "You have to be their first love, right? You have to be, and know their love language." He said, and it was so random, complete stranger, but he said, imagine you were like, "Oh, they're balloons. I'm going to get a balloon and give a balloon to both of my daughters," right? Because there were some balloons there. Well, if one of your daughter's love languages is words of affirmation, but the other one's is giving gifts, what you have just said to one daughter is, "I love you so much." And what you said to the other daughter is, "Here's a balloon."
Yep.
So that love language is just so important. But go ahead.
Yeah, it is something that we need to think about. Ooh, so mothers are not perfect, and this does not come with a handbook. And I think a lot of times when you're younger, you're like, "Oh, I don't understand why she said that, or why she did that, or why she did this, or whatever." And then you become a mom, and then you're like, "Whoo, oh, this is some real stuff." So even if you're not a mom and you haven't reached that revelation that this is not easy, I want you to try to practice. Put this into practice. Give your mother some grace for whatever it is that she is trying her hardest to do, whether she didn't make it to that softball game that you wanted her to be at, or she didn't show up to take pictures of you if you're leaving to go to prom because she had a meeting that was out of town. Whatever it is, she could have lost you in a mall. I'm just saying. And you were like, "I don't know where it is." Whatever it is, maybe she married that man you didn't like and he became your stepfather. Whatever it is, give her grace. She is human before she is your mother. And I think it is so important that we, our moms have this wonderful ability to be supernatural and put on their cape and come save the day. And there are going to be times where they're trying to figure it out and they are not clear on which direction to go. But know that she loves you and that she is trying her very hardest. So give her some grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right. Gigi.
This one, give her roses now. Give her roses now. And quite frankly, mothers, take your roses now. Right? Waiting for tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Tomorrow is wonderful. Seize the moment of today. Tomorrow is not promised. Love on the ones that you have, especially your mother today, because tomorrow is not promised. Mommy, love on yourself and your babies today, because tomorrow is not promised.
Ooh, Amanda, that is a phenomenal closer to her mother in death than in life,
Whew.
and not to miss out on those opportunities while you have, because not all of us are able to have and celebrate our mothers in the physical being today. So I don't think there's anything follow up to that, quite frankly, because enough said. I wish everyone an amazing Mother's Day, whatever that might look like for you. And take the time to give yourself some grace, mothers. Take the time to state what you need, mean what you state, and enjoy just this gift that we are given of motherhood. And whether you have kids that are your own or kids that you are mothering to, we just wish you well.
And those daddies who are playing mommy, we love you too.
Daddies don't play mommy, daddies play daddy.
They play
and we'll
daddy.
have another show for them. This is about mothers. Stop being so inclusive. And with that,